For this video, it's gonna be about the easiest games that I've played, right? So easiest games, and when I say easy games, they're not bad games or good games. They're more so, that's what it is. Easy. These games are easy in a comparison to my other games, and yeah, like, share, subscribe. This is gonna be a part one, part two type deal, right? So yeah, the first one now is gonna be FIFA World Tour Soccer '06. World Tour Soccer, or a World Tour Football, right? This is a more fast-paced style soccer. So it is very fast-paced style soccer, the game. This is for the PSP, right? So it's very easy at the score. Up and down at the field, very fast-paced action, right? Very fun, very fun. But it is very easy at the score. There's a very little defense being played, like in the game. You can up the difficulty to make it harder. But yeah, this game though, it is very easy. It is a very easy, style game. I'm not sure if it's, if this takes place like off, a Barclay Premier Leagues or a La Liga, but yeah, this is like a World Tour '06 game. So yeah, it is very easy, right? There is various modes in the game. But for the most part, though, it's up and down, fast paced, very easy at the score, high scoring games. If you guys watch football in real life, most of the games are, low scoring game. But like in this game, it is a very fast paced arcade style football. Or sorry, soccer. Next one's gonna be the Straw Humans, Path of the Furon. Mainly because you get the time freeze, ability, and the Straw Humans, you always had lots of abilities. Telekinesis, mind control, mind reading, hijacking bodies, body snatching, and all that. But this one gives you the time freeze ability. So the time freeze ability, literally, you freeze time around you. So, the Straw Humans too had it, but it was more of, some sort of mind flash. So, that one, though, you just freeze all the humans, but this one freezes everything around you. Everything, around the temporal field freezes, right? So, yeah. And the game is also easy because, again, with most Straw Human games, you can use, telekinesis, throw enemies away, push them away. If you're being, outnumbered, you have lots of arsenal, right, to really help you out. And a lot of, a challenge. You will die. The UFO is the most powerful, like in this game. I believe this is Straw Humans 3 or 4. It is the most powerful. So you just mow through everything like in your path. It is very easy. It is a pretty easy style game. Another one was going to be Rogue Warrior. Rogue Warrior because a first person kind of action, shooter. A Rogue Warrior, basically, you just walk up to the enemies, take them out very quickly. Shoot enemies, mow through enemies, more enemies and more enemies and more enemies. Right? It is very easy. And the game is short. It is a very short game, the actual campaign itself. This game, though, like I heard, bad reviews online from, what was it? 07, 08, so bad reviews. But like I played it, it's a very easy game. And, the character basically cusses as he takes out, like, these enemies. You start out in Korea and you go to Russia, right? And yeah, you just, these easy takedowns, right? You hardly die in this game. It's a very easy game, Rogue Warrior. These two here are the same idea, Bloodstone and Stranglehold. More so with Stranglehold because you get the bullet time ability like in Max Payne. Stranglehold is like Max Payne, basically. Stranglehold, right? So, shootouts, lots of shootouts. James Bond Bloodstone, it does have few stealth moments, but for the most part, you're just mowing through enemies. The same idea as a Rogue Warrior. Like you really die, especially in Stranglehold because you got that ability. So the bullet dodge ability makes it a lot easier, right? And yeah, James Bond, because he is James Bond, he is that good. He just takes out enemies, left, center, right, all over the place, right? He is that skilled, he is that good, right? The only thing, James Bond, though, does have difficult, does have some, for the most part, the chase sequences are there, they are good, but like they're very easy. They're very easy chase sequences, right? You will die more so in James Bond compared to Stranglehold, but both of these games, for the most part, they're very easy, and they're not very long. They're not very long games, too, as well. Full Auto Battle Lines 2. Full Auto Battle Lines 2. You do get the ability to reverse time. So you reverse time So, if you're about to run into trouble, or like you crash, you can literally reverse time. And yeah, so this actually makes the game so much easier, right? And again, like when I say easy, it doesn't mean the game is good or bad. It's just a relative like to what I played. But a full Battle Lines 2, so it's like, I kind of think like a Twisted Metal mixed with like a flat out head on or like a burnout style game. You're shooting enemy opponents, there's teams, there's multiplayer. But for the most part though, on single player, it is very easy because you can just reverse time and you can avoid your mistakes that are about to happen. It is very fun, by the way. It is a very fun game, but yeah, a very easy game as well. And yeah, Mercenaries 2, Mercenaries 2, you're like a walking tank, literally. You're like a walking tank with airstrikes at your disposal. You can go in tanks, right? APCs, right? And this game though, you hardly die. You'll hardly die. You can jump out of a helicopter, free fall, land, and there's no parachute, and still be alive, right? And yeah, I know it is the video game logic, plot armor, right? But Mercenaries 2, explosions, more things. You are extremely durable. Things can explode near you, and you still have about 60% health left, right? And yeah, but Mercenaries 2, you are extremely durable. And tanks as well, like when you're in the tanks, it's very fun to blow up like enemy encampments around you, or other enemy vehicles and all that. And the airstrikes as well, when you're in trouble, as long as you have to build up the stockpile and your resources for airstrikes, and you always need oil in order to do things like in the game, right? Airstrikes and fast travel and all that, stockpile pickups. But airstrikes can really help you, like if there's helicopters all over, you just call in the anti-air airstrikes, which takes out all helicopters like in the area, or anti-tank strike, which takes out all tanks in the area, and yeah, all that. And yeah, but yeah, Mercenaries 2, this is probably the best game like out of like all these games, because it is very fun. But again, it's a very easy style game. Last one's gonna be Anarchy Reigns, which is the same idea as all of them, for the most part. Anarchy Reigns though, it's like a challenge to challenge. So you're doing challenges to challenges after challenge to unlock the next story. A story mission, right? So yeah, there's like a light side and like a dark side, right? It is very easy game because you're meleeing through enemies left, right, center. Like you're taking out enemies all around you, and you're hardly dying. You hardly take any damage. You will take damage. There is bosses, right? There is certain bosses. It is. This one though is like an arcade. Again, it is like an arcade challenge type game. It reminds me a little bit like of the art style. It reminds me a little bit of, not so much a Saints Row, like a Saints Row, mini Saints Row, not so much like a Metal Gear Rising type, style. But yeah, most missions you're outnumbered, but you're taking out enemies very easily, and you have to get to the next challenge, and then the next challenge, and the next challenge. The bosses though they're pretty easy for the second half of the game. They get harder. You can choose a light side first or a dark side first, or I can't remember what it's called, but for the most part it's just a different perspective like on the game. And yeah, the takedown sequences, you're taking out enemies, right? These cool melee takedown sequences, action sequences, and all that. So yeah, the easiest games I played, part 1. Like and subscribe. Thank you.